I just randomly flipped open the deck when I was shuffling after the reading, and just Temperance just popped out. I've never gotten in this deck actually, so to pop out again, I thought I'd mention it. This is a woman washing her feet in a brook, detailed by Camille Pissarro, 1894, Indianapolis Museum of Art, USA. Indianapolis, I found. Makes me think of Contempt because her name was Camille in the movie. And the unlike is joined together, and from differences result the most beautiful harmony. Heraclitus. I don't think I pronounced that right. So, anyways, there you go. There's the star. If thou follow thy star, thou canst not fail glorious heaven. Starry night. Vincent Van Gogh. So a lot of this impressionist, like, temperance, balance, stars. As above, so below. I want to pull one more now. Anything else that needs to come through? The highest and greatest good of all. Page of Swords, King of Swords. When the student is ready, the master will appear. Buddhist proverb. Paul writing by Camille Pissarro, 1894. And the great virtue is the real courage, ... to face facts and live beyond them. D.H. Lawrence. Portrait of John James Halco by unknown English artist, 1820s. Library and Museum of Freemasonry, London, UK. Medals of Honor, Award, Page of Swords. This is like a little kid that like has information and like runs in and tells people because doesn't really know what else to do with it. Just someone who's very quick and like probably pretty strategic and like listens and probably like listens to the adults when they're like in the other room talking and gets all the gossip information and like and then like has a quick response or like raises a plan or something going on. Probably has a lot to say in class and school. So if it's a younger kid, that's probably what their personality is somewhat like, or an air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Pages I think of as the cardinal signs. So that would be Libra too. Again, which is like Justice, King of Swords. So someone, a lot of mental action, a lot of communication. Ten of Wands, again, patience and fortitude conquer all things. Ralph Waldo Emerson, The Alchemist, by Matthias Van Helmont, 17th century, Chemical Heritage Foundation Museum, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I don't know what's going on out there. Just like pouring over, getting back to the books, like back to school, pouring over chemistry again, like the pouring over your notes, looking back over something. Yeah, I mean, maybe looking back over your notes, being very wavelength, getting on a wavelength, getting on history books. I think of like invention, like that mad scientist guy, like, I don't know. Ten of Wands, just like having a lot of information stored up, and just like, from a long lifetime of learning and knowledge, and so maybe from the outside it looks like disarray, but this guy is wise. Seven of Swords. One must have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. Friedrich Nietzsche. Road with Cypresses by Vincent van Gogh, 1890. Rijksmuseum, Kröller-Müller, Otterlo, Netherlands. Something about the Netherlands. Cypress trees. Can I think of contempt a little bit, or like, Summertime Sadness, that song, Cypress trees. Arizona too. I mean, they have cypress trees everywhere, but like the last time I saw really took note of cypress trees was in Arizona. So, the Lovers again. Heart has reasons that reason cannot know. Pascal. Endymion, George Frederick Watts, 1869. Just like breathing, being like back to life, you know. Looks like she's like breathing into you know, but typically again it's just like lovers. Watts, electricity, again. Seven of Swords, though, can be liar, cheat, or thief, and alchemist, you know, like, it's not, it can just be like remembering something, or like looking back at something, again, looking over something, looking over, leaving something behind. You left something out, or you're trying to like remember something like from your notes. You don't remember which notebook you wrote it in, but like Seven of Swords can mean memory, and also retrieving something that was lost, stolen. Lovers. Can also be Gemini too, because like, you know, Lovers often talks about Gemini. So, Ace of Swords. I am not afraid of storms, for I am learning to sail my ship. Louisa May Alcott. Breezing Up a Fair Wind by Winslow Homer, National Gallery of Art, Washington, D.C., USA. Anything else? Seven of Pentacles, again, in this other deck. With time and patience, the mulberry leaf becomes a silk gown. Chinese proverb. The Empress of China, Teddy Mulberry Leaves by Bernard Road. Berlin, Germany, 1773. I just really like that painting. My mom mentioned Asia today. This is wearing my hair. I don't know what she thought. Whenever she says things, she's also like Pisces, Aries, like woman has crazy. I don't know. Whenever she talks about things, it usually has some sort of impact later that day or something. The Empress of China, mulberry leaves. I think of like tea leaves, reading tea leaves. Berlin, Germany. And the Hermit again on the bottom. Nowhere can man find a quieter, more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Marcus Aurelius, Solitude, watching the horizon at sunset in the hope of seeing a vessel. Just Lacuna in the South Atlantic by August Earl, 1824, National Library of Australia. Thinking about someone trying to get to the finish line, but you're just like not sure where it is because you're, taking it one step at a time. Eight of Wands again. Nothing ever is, but all things are becoming. All things are offspring of flux and motion. Plato. The Violet Wave by George Lacombe. Say to Orsay, Paris, France. Looks very almost psychedelic, or again, sort of like tsunami-ish, like Asian, that. What's that one with the big wave that everyone's seen that painting? It's like on the notebooks and things they sell, in the MoMA, painting. That's what it makes me think of. Big wave. Violet wave. Think of the spectrum too. Violet spectrum. Carry an umbrella there too. Nine of Wands. In times of stress, be bold and valiant. This is where we left off. There's the Magician on the bottom. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my own soul. Of my soul. William Henley. Opus 217 against the enamel of background rhythmic beats, angles, tones, and tints. Portrait of Felix Fenelon in 1890 by Paul Signac. 1890, Museum of Modern Art, New York. Again, just all this color and pattern and all that just radiating out from the center with all these different. Makes me think of those. I don't know if anyone ever played those things, games, big, wheel tent thing in summer school or something. Everyone had a little corner and you throw it up and you'd have to maybe run across paths, cross with someone across the way underneath while it's still up. When you're really little, it's kind of what it reminds me of. One of those tents with all the different colors. They're not tents, they're I don't know, but has all the wheel of color and change, and so throwing it up and having to run opposites again, the astrological wheel, and crossing over to the other horizon, the upper part of the astrological chart referring to the public domain, work life, your social life, your career life, and bottom part of the horizon having to do again with home life and your personal, values and things like that. World. He's holding a flower, kind of like the fool in the typical imagery. Tones and beats, Eight of Wands. Also think of music scale, the 8 layers, bubbles, dimensions. One more. Magicians, the I am communicating with connecting to or getting to the Hermit. Seven of Pentacles. Looking up your midpoints. This would be a 7. An Earth sign 7. Strength. He knows not his own strength that hath not met adversity. Francis Bacon. Portrait of Queen Elizabeth I. George Gower, Private Collection, 16 16th century. And just like that radiating out from this queen, like royalty, again, armor, badges, what's it called, chainmail, bows, lots of bows, embellishments, even, here's Eight of Pentacles again, that's so weird. Until you try, you don't know what you can do, Henry James. Artist painting other artists, Van Gogh painting, Gauguin, 1888, Netherlands, again. What was I saying? I just like that radiating out from that center. Pattern, color. Yeah, there's just a lot of details, embellishments, and hardware and pattern going on. Strength, magician, creating your own sort of strength, creating your own inner strength. The Hermit's about looking inward too sometimes. Yeah, so maybe finding strength in using your mind, too, and the power of your mind, and knowledge, and what you can communicate out there, and how you can express yourself, and express like yourself in just different ways, different levels, layers. Octuple entendre, alchemical cycle. There's a hidden eighth step, and so that's why I usually do everything in like threes, and each set has 8 layers. I call them octuple entendres, like the 8 of Wands, and just the different alchemical steps within each 3 layers of development of something. So you refine it, and you refine it, and you refine it. And usually it starts out very like about myself and what, it's drawing my attention, my experiences, and then moving on to like how that translates into the world, and then bringing it all together in the 3rd stage. That's usually how I relate the alchemical cycle to my creative development and progress in something, and just shows that within each stage, each cycle, there's always that same cycle, and another, condensed down again, just miniature cycles. And I think you can see that throughout the Odyssey, and if you follow some of the events that are going on, current events and things like that, and you can kind of pinpoint in some of the imagery or stages and different videos, and kind of trace, this sort of spiral timeline, how we're kind of spiraling back on ourselves, and you can kind of trace and see the speed and things like that things are progressing. I haven't tried that. I just have been thinking about it, and I probably should have been like tracking everything, but it's a lot of work. So, but yeah, it's just sort of, you can kind of see, just kind of like connect the dots too, almost like making a map and like checking off like when something happens that corresponds with the playlists, and just making a note of it, and then at a certain point, maybe at the end of a cycle or end of a month or something like that, you can connect all those dots and the dates, and in numerical order or whatever, however, and just see if how time is moving. And yeah, so anyways, maybe if you're into things like that, like me, you might enjoy that, and also just check out the playlist that I've created for the different suits in the Odyssey if you have time. And yeah, just try to compare what the traditional meanings of the cards are, symbolism, and all that imagery with the videos that I've chosen, and listen for lyrics and things like that, words that stand out to you for whatever it is you're wondering about, and let that be a guide or a spark of direction maybe to go in. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and thanks for watching again. Bye.